Hello guys, my name is Snapzat and welcome to my YouTube channel. In this tutorial, I'm going to be teaching you how to draw a portrait illustration using Adobe Illustrator. And so without further ado, let's get right into it. So I'll be starting this portrait by drawing an outline of the portrait. And the first thing is to create a new layer over your image after you must have imported it. So you ensure the foreground color is also dark. And using my pencil, I'm just going to draw over areas I feel are dark, as you can see in the portrait. So that's what I'll be doing for now, and you can follow through from what you are seeing. And because I do not want to waste your time, I'm just going to forward these a little bit and then get back when I'm ready to go over the next step after the outline. Now that I'm done with the outline, I'm just going to put the whole outline into one layer. So I'm going to select every outline and just drag and drop into a layer and then close it up. Okay. The next thing I will need now is adding details to the hair, the hair strands, basically. So I use 3 different brushes for everything I'll be drawing. And you can check the link for how I created my brushes. 2 of the brushes are air brushes, and then the last one is a calligraphic brush. So I'm going to be using one of the air brush to draw the details of the hair. So I'm just going to zoom in and pick on my brush, ensure the scale based color is black. I'm going to reduce my opacity a little bit, and I'm just going to draw where I feel the hair strands are. I'm going to do that. So I'm going to do that for every part I see hair strands, just to make it a little bit realistic. You understand? So you can just toggle through visibilities of your portrait to check what you are doing. You can toggle through the stroke, the weight of the brush you are using, toggle through the opacity just to give it a little bit of versatility, and it makes it realistic a little bit. So that's what I'll be doing now. ensure you create a new layer for this. Okay, just create a new layer above the outline layer to draw to add the details over here and everything. So now that I'm done with adding the extra, the next thing I want to do is to add color to my portrait. So you want to go to your layer, you make a copy of the outline by dragging it down to the new layer button, lock the upper part of the outline, then go to your selection to select the whole portrait, head over to object, then click on expand appearance, then you go to Windows, Pathfinder, and click merge layers, as you can see there. Now once you are done merging the whole outline together, go to color. I like picking green a lot because green is very distinct and very clear enough. I'm going to change this to the big scale here. I'm going, after picking the rectangle, to just draw over your outline. Right click on it, go to arrange, send to back, and to draw again, go over to Pathfinder, click on match colors, click the colors outside your portrait and hit delete. So it deletes the colors outside. Also zoom into your picture and delete any outer colors that you can see anywhere, and that's what I'm doing right now. So what you see me doing right now is bringing my image, the normal image from my laptop, because I want to sample colors from the image. So basically what I do is I use my eyedropper tool to pick a color from the image. After picking a color, I click on the color, I copy the color using Ctrl+C, or you right click and then you copy normally. Then you come back to the portrait you are drawing, use the direct selection tool to select the same part that you picked colors from your image, and you hit Ctrl+V. I'm going to demonstrate that now. So I've sampled the color from the image, I pick the color, then I'm going to use Ctrl+C now to copy. So now I'm back to my portrait, I'm zooming in, so I'm just going to use my direct selection to sample the part. So you sample, then you go to your color and hit Ctrl+V to paste, and as you can see, it has pasted it automatically. Okay, for places where the lines are not connecting, you can manually draw over the color as well. So I'm going to do the same for other part of other part of my portrait. That's what I'm going to be doing now. So this is how I add my base color to portrait, just by sampling from the image and just adding the color directly to my portrait illustration. After sampling, you can adjust the colors yourself, but sampling from your image will give you an idea of the color to add in the first place. Do you understand? So I do not like to sample my lips. I prefer drawing the lips manually myself. Okay, so I use the same thing. I create a new layer for the lips. So what I do is I sample color also from the image, copying the color. I just draw that color over where the lips should be. Okay, so basically the same process, but now I just add in the lips manually, and that's just the difference it makes. And like I said, add the leaves on a different layer. So create a layer over the layer of the colors you just added, and trace out the lips like I've done in the video. So I'm tracing the upper lip now, and I'm just going to trace the lower lip as well afterwards. So for colors hovering over itself, you can use the shape builder to delete those hovering over each other. Just select the colors, select the whole colors, and go to your shape view. Holding the Alt key, draw over the parts where the color are hovering over each other, and it's an effective way of deleting for colors very, very fast. And that is what I use. So you see, it works like magic. So just delete anywhere the color is overlaying on each other, and it's quite straightforward. So that's just what I did now. And because this layer for the teeth is down the layer for the lips, I can just draw it over and it's not going to affect the lips. That's what I'm doing. Just going to draw everything down, and oh, yep, that is that. Feel the need to adjust whatever color you've added. Just select the color, select it, then head over to edit colors, edit recolor preset, then color harmony, and you can easily adjust the color from there to to your preference. Okay, so any color that you've added that you feel okay is still out of touch a little bit, and just come over here, click on it, and just edit to your taste. Once you are satisfied with the whole base color, what you are going to do is you would have to duplicate the base color layer. So you duplicate, you lock the top layer, you lock the down layer, and then unlock the top layer and delete the base color for the face. So I undid the visibility so you can see I've deleted the base color. But if I should do it back, it's going to come back. So I'm going to keep creating layers for the details on top of the base color I duplicated, or base layer I duplicated rather. So I'm just going to click on the color wheel, and I'm going to go diagonally to the deeper side a little bit, just a little bit to the deeper side. That's what I'm going to do now. Let's draw this down a little bit. Good. Then diagonally, I'm not going straight down, just diagonally. Then I'm going to hit OK. So I'm going to unlock the base layer so I can see where the dark areas are, and I'm just going to add the new colors to the dark areas into here. So this is the first. I tend to go from the dark areas and work my way back to the lighter areas. That's just what I prefer. I like working that way, and that's what I'm going to do in this video as well. So I'm still hovering over places I feel are dark. Yeah. Okay. I'm drawing above. I'm drawing outside my portrait because I know I can use the shape builder to delete any extra color, so I don't have to worry about having to draw inside the portrait throughout. So I can come back to adjust that using the shape builder too, and you're going to see me as I do that now. Yeah. So okay, so if you are not satisfied with this, you know how to change. You can still change the color by picking it and then going to edit colors, recolor with preset, color harmony, and you can just adjust a little bit from there till you feel okay, it's a little bit okay for for what you want. Okay, this is just going to increase this a bit, I think. Yeah, let me reduce this as well. Okay. Let me change this to 19. Yeah, that should work. Okay, so this is the color I'll be adding on areas that are a little bit dark, not the darkest, to cover the darkest areas too, but just areas that are not light. So I'm not going to be adding too much details for this tutorial. I'm just going to So I'm just going to give an overview of how you can add your colors, and that's just what this tutorial will cover. So I won't be adding too much details like I used to in my illustrations. This is strictly for educational purpose. So that's still what I'm going to keep on doing. The shape builder tool comes in handy here. So in order to delete this extra color, I'm just going to pick on the two colors where they're overlapping, go to the shaper to holding hotkey, just going to draw over it. It's going to delete it easily for me. So it's quite easy to overlay colors since you have your shape builder to help you out. I'm going to do the same here too. Let me zoom in. I'm going to pick the extra colors and shape builder to hotkey and just over. That's that. So I'm going to go darker now from this color and create a new layer above the layer you just drew. I'm going to drag it, it's above the last layer. Pick the last color you picked and moving diagonally, pick the next dark color. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is add these darker color on areas that are even darker than the first color I picked. And let's see. Okay, so I'm going to add it on this side and any other side that you feel is still a little bit darker than the first color, than the first dark color that you pick. Basically, the whole point is just to go from the lightest dark area such a thing exists, to the darkest part. Okay, so I'm just going to keep adding dark colors till I get to the darkest part, and once I'm there, I can then work my way back to the light areas. You can see this color is a little bit darker than the previous one, so I'm going to use the shape builder to remove this extra color. Like I said, holding the hotkey, just delete it. So I can see the dark areas. Just going to draw on every other area that I feel are darker than the first color I picked up. Okay, yes. So that's what I'm going to be doing for the next few minutes. Now the next thing is to make a transition back to the light areas. So when you're done adding the whole dark colors, like you can see in the image, what you want to do is create a new layer above them, sample the background color, and just draw on any part that you feel is lighter in your image. So I'm going to draw on this part because I know it's lighter. I'm drawing on a new layer, mind you. Okay, so once you are done drawing, you are going to pick let me draw this again, sorry. So you're going to pick your selection tool. You're going to select it, go to edit, sorry, let me change so it will become obvious. Okay, so go to edit colors, the color will preset color harmony, and you're just going to increase the last part a little bit and reduce the middle layer as well, so it becomes a little bit lighter. Okay, yeah, I think that's okay. So it becomes a little bit lighter. Let me just increase 24.2. Okay, so you can see it's now light, and I'm just going to toggle off the visibility and draw on other areas I feel are light using the new color I have obtained. This will be my first light color that I'll be adding to the portrait illustration. You see how light it is. So it's just going to be on areas I feel are lighter than my base color. So now that I'm done with the first light color, I'm going to do the same thing by creating a new layer again. Then I'm going to sample the last light color at due. I'm going to sample this. I'm going to draw over the light color because I know this area is still lighter than the first light color I drew. So I'm just going to draw. I'm going to pick my selection tool. I'm going to select, go to edit color preset, color harmony. And like I did the last time, I'm going to increase the last part. I'm going to reduce the middle part. Okay. You see now it's becoming lighter. I'm going to put 25. Hit OK. So you see this part now is lighter in my illustration, just the same as it is lighter in my image as well. So in all you do, just ensure you follow the image, you follow your reference as much as possible, so your portrait don't turn out to be, awkward in a way. Yeah, so this is the same thing I'll be doing for every light part. After I'm done with the recent one, I'm just going to use the last color to draw on another area that is lighter. I'm going to sample it, then using the color harmony, I'm going to increase it a little bit, and that's what I'll do, and that's what I'll be doing throughout. Okay, so I'm very sure even if I skip through, you understand exactly what I'm doing. Like I said, this tutorial is just going to be a tutorial with not too much detail, because I want to focus on building a foundational knowledge on how to add light colors, how to add the dark colors, and with time you can transition into adding more details on your own, and it will help you a great deal. So now that I'm done with adding the old colors, I'm just going to put everything in the layer by creating a layer above everything. I'm going to select all the layers I drew on and just drag it to the new layer I created, and to close it up and lock it. So recall I drew the lips on a different layer, so you create a layer above the layer where you drew the lips in the first instance, because I want to add details to the lips. So just like the same technique I used in adding colors to, okay, I missed this space, so just draw over. I have to come back to my color layer just to draw over this part because I missed it. So I'm just going to go lighter by sampling from what I've drawn already to go lighter. Okay, so I want to work on the lips now. I'm just going to sample the base color, and I'm going to click my color and reduce. I want to go darker first, so it's just the same process like I've been doing before. Diagonally, I'm going to go down a little bit, and I'm going to add color on areas that are darker, and make a transition back to the light areas. So that's the same thing I'm doing now. And recall what I said about the shape builder too. You don't have to worry about overlapping lines, because you can just pick the two colors that are overlapping and just draw. Using the hotkey, you can draw over them to delete them. So I'm going to go a little bit darker. Okay, like I said, I'm not drawing too much details in this illustration. Okay, I'll probably create another tutorial where I will explain in details how to put more details, how to use the opacity to even blend your colors more. But I'm planning on using another technique to blend this color using a Photoshop. It's something I discovered recently, so that will be the next part of the video. So yeah, so I've made the transition and I've sampled my background color just to draw. I want to make it transition back to the highlight. So since I've done, I'm going to sample the background color and go lighter. Yeah. So I'm going to draw on the light part using the background lip color, mind you. So just okay. I'm going to pick it up, select it. I'm going to select. Okay, let me remove the extra colors first. So using the shape builder tool, I'm just going to press my hot and over directly over the areas. So pick the last color you drew, the first light color, then head over to edit color preset, color harmony, and increase the last part, then reduce the middle part as well, like I've been doing for the lighter part of the image. I'm going to reduce this. Okay. So that's the first light color I'll be drawing. You can still go even lighter because it's the lips. I can just do it from there as well. So I'm going to go lighter, just add, because this area is very light as you can see in the image. So let them draw. Okay, I'm going to remove this. Sorry. Okay. So I think that's that for the upper lip, and I'm going to do the same for the lower lips as well. Creating let me add this the upper lip into one layer so that it won't confuse me. So create the layer above them and drag them into the layer. So I'm going to create a new layer for the lower lips. Sample the color first, sample the base color, go diagonally down for the first dark part. Just do the same like we did for the upper lip. Now that I'm done with the lips, I'm going to work on the teeth next, and I'm going to follow the same thing I've been doing before now by simply sampling the color of the upper part of the teeth from the image. I'm going to copy the color, and I'll return to my portrait. I'm going to create a new layer above the background layer of the lips, and after I create that layer, I'm just going to click on my color and paste the color I sampled from the image, and let me toggle off. So I'm going to draw on the part I sampled. I'm going to draw. Basically, I'm still doing the same thing I've been doing before, just sampling color and going over areas that are dark, like I'm doing now. I'm just going to put on dark areas and I'm going to pick new colors, and if I feel that there are some areas that are lighter, I just add over those areas, and that's basically what I'm doing. So, and I'm sure by now you understand how to go about that. So I'm just going to and this, and that will be all for the teeth. I'm still going to keep on fast forwarding the process because I do not want to bore everybody, but I'm still doing the same thing like I've been doing before, just adding areas and colors to areas that are dark, colors to areas that are light, and the same process is even used on the clothes, but I'm not going to add too much details on the clothes. I'm just going to go with a simple, mini details, but it's basically the same thing, just adding the same color, creating new layers for each color I want to add, and adding colors to areas that I feel are darker, areas that I feel are lighter. And as you can see in the portrait, that's the same thing that is happening right now. But if you have any question, feel free to ask me in the comment section, and I'm going to reply swiftly to any question that you might have for me. So on the glasses as well, I'm repeating the same process on everything. I need to add, I add colors on areas that I sampled from my image, and I go lighter when I have to go and darker when I have to. And I'm very sure you understand what that means. The last part of this is going to be addition of details to the hair, and I have a brush I use for this. It's the third brush from, I'm going to choose the third brush, and this is the brush I'll be using for the addition of the details to every area of the hair. You understand? But I think I missed this part. This part still, there are still some strands of hair that are here. So using the dark color, I'm just going to add to this part, like you can see. I'm using one of the brushes I showed. I already pasted a link of a video where you can create the brushes for yourself, and you can apply it within 2 seconds or 5 seconds whenever you want to work. So it's not that hard. So now to the last part of the tutorial, the addition of details to the hair. So I pick my color. You have to create a new layer above every layer you've worked on. Go to your color, pick a very light color, very light color, and I'm just going to reduce the opacity. I reduce the opacity and I just apply on the areas that are light. At the first stage, you can just apply as much as you want around any area that you want. So far you are using a low opacity, and you are drawing it on a new layer, so you can easily adjust the color, you can adjust the opacity. If you feel it's too much, you can reduce the opacity. If you feel it's too small, you can increase the opacity, since it's a new layer you are drawing from. And I'm drawing directly on the image now because I do not know exactly where those strands of hair, I do not know exactly where they are. So that's why I'm just trying to trace it directly from my image. You understand? So I'm going to continue doing that, and once I'm done with the first base color addition, I'm just going to create another new layer, go lighter with my color, probably increase my opacity a little bit, and still continue drawing on areas that are even lighter than the base hair details I have here, just like I did with the completion of the face. You understand? So that's basically the same thing we do with the hair as well. I'm still drawing on the hair, and I'm using the same brush I talked about. And I think I'm still on the first base color for the hair. And once I'm done, I'm just going to increase the color and add on areas that are lighter than I have here, while juggling around my opacity and all. So I think at this point, this will be the last time you'll be hearing my voice as regards this tutorial. And thank you for staying to this time, and I hope you've learned something new from this tutorial. And kindly like and subscribe if you've learned something, and do click the notification bell so you can be notified of upcoming videos. Thank you so much. Bye bye.